Hey guys, mulltiy here. Today I want to talk with you about leveling in hardcore. I want to give you some, let me say beginner tips, beginner advices for a smooth level experience in World of Warcraft hardcore. I'm just here a little bit around farming some things in the meantime, some experience. Let us start with, like I said, 5 tips for leveling in hardcore. At the moment, I guess many people are already 60 because I think the game is now the hardcore mode is now out for like 6 weeks. I'm leveling here my second hunter. First one died already, so it's now my second one. I'm level 55 again, back on track. So let us talk about the 5 tips that I have for you. First one is a super general tip, and I guess everybody already knows it. Don't enter caves. Caves are very dangerous, especially in hardcore, especially on servers with a lot of people because of the hyperspawn. Usually every zone has its caves, starting from beginner zones, starting zones, and then going all over the world, like here the gorilla cave in Ungoro, the insect caves everywhere. You know, they are not here marked on the map like a cave, but they are caves. So usually every zone has, or most zones have, 1 or 2 caves. Very dangerous in hardcore. Why? Because of the respawn. That means if you get in any trouble inside of the caves, and usually the mob density is pretty high, close together in caves, that means a big chance that you have to fight 2 mobs at once. If you get in any trouble in a cave and you have to run out, then the problem is that the exit, the way out, the entrance is already spawned again, the mobs. And if you try to run out, then you can get into trouble and maybe dying. So my general advice is don't enter caves at all. If you try to enter, if you have to kill mobs, for example, that are close or into this cave, then I would usually say just enter the cave like a few meters so that you can farm the first 2, 3, 4 mobs and then go out. And repeat that, farm a little bit there around, enter again, and do things like this, so that you don't take the risk for dying just because of one quest that you have to do in this cave. Second one is a little bit more special, is elites in every zone. We have some very famous elites in some zones, like for example Morladim and Stitches in Duskwood. We have the Devil Saurus in Ungoro, things like this. So what is important? Important is that you know about those elites and that you also kind of know where they are around. Some are pretty easy, like Morladim, you know, in the graveyard is here around, I think in the top left of this graveyard, circling around here. Stitches is the way here all through Duskwood, things like this. There are other ones like the Devil Saurus. They are completely mixed up in Ungoro. One here, one here, one here, one here. So it's a little bit more tricky, but usually, besides maybe the starter zones where I'm not sure about it, every zone has 1, 2, 3 elites that you should know about. I also would count like patrols that are patrolling around. Like for example in Arati there's usually a patrol with 4 or 5 mobs circling around. In Silitus is something like this circling around, which could lead to some very unfortunate situations. You can also mark those mobs. If, for example, if you would be here around and here would be an elite around that you know but that you want to dodge all the time, just mark it, and then you have a pretty good chance to always have it kind of visible for you, that you don't get into trouble. The next one is stamina gear. Stamina gear is pretty important in my opinion in hardcore. Is anyways always good in World of Warcraft. It's a classic. but in hardcore especially, because for example right now I try to look that all my gear has stamina on it. Sure, even as a hunter I have right now 2-3 pieces leather, which is maybe not the best, but they are pretty good pieces, like the Devil's Aura set. And otherwise, in other words, let me see, 129 stamina I have extra through some of my items. And if you think about 129 stamina, that's 1290 HP. I only have 2200 in total, so it's like, yeah, 30% of my life, of my HP is because of stamina on my items, which is quite a lot. That means in situations where maybe you have only 800 HP left and they are kind of getting dangerous, you would be already dead without the HP. Sure, without the HP you would maybe not even let it happen that this situation occurs, but stamina is a big benefit in hardcore, which helps you quite a lot to survive some dangerous situations. So I would recommend try to get pieces with only stamina on it, and if this is not possible, then mix it with every other stat for sure. Better the stat helps you, like in for hunters, ability, for mana classes, intellect, or maybe spirit, you know what I mean. But stamina, super important in hardcore. Next one is quests that you don't know, especially maybe also escort quests, stuff like this. So most quests in Classic are pretty easy. With easy I mean like this: kill 20 of those, bring me 8 of those things. That means 8 of those things you have to kill, like, I don't know, 30 mobs to get 8 of those things. But we also have escort quests. We have quests where you need to talk to someone, where you need to bring something. So if you don't know what's going on in this quest, then I would say better safe than sorry. Usually your quest reward is around the same value, like 20 mobs that are around your level. When I kill mobs around my level, I get around 300 HP. They are now a little bit lower than me, so it's a little bit less, around 300 HP, and a quest reward gives me a little bit less than 6000 XP experience. So that means 20 mobs. How fast can you kill 20 mobs? Maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes. That's the only thing that you can save instead of doing. It's the only time that you save when you do a quest reward. So if you are not sure about it, like I said, especially escort quests where maybe something is transforming, where another mob is crying for help from other things, where you have to enter caves, whatever, where you have to enter, for example, this is also pretty tough quest very early on here, when you have to enter this area, these buildings, things like this. Always think about twice. Is it worth it? Are you alone? With 2 or 3 people, no problem. Alone, I would always recommend, hey, better safe than sorry, because like I said, if it's not a crazy good quest that can give you a lot of follow up or some follow up quests, then I think it's not worth it to take the risk. So what else? Next one is the last one, and that's also a super general one. So the first was a very general one, second one is, and the last one is a very general one. Take it easy, take it slow. We talk about a 20-year-old game. Everything is done. Even now here in official hardcore, world first is achieved on everything. Nothing that you can achieve anymore. You have to do it with speed. Enjoy the game. Because if you are trying to speed things up in a completely unnecessary way, you are much faster dead than you can maybe even think of. Sure, we have some very nice abilities to get out of fights, like feign death on hunter, vanish on rogue, bubble on paladin, whatever. But in general, I can say, if you feel stressed, if you feel you are in a in a situation where you have to maximize everything because you want to level as fast as possible, things are much more likely to go south. And depending on your level, you spend maybe 5 or 4 days played. Let me see it here now on my level 55. I have here, yeah, I take it slow. Seems like it's 7 days played. Sure, also some AFK time in the cities, but yeah, 7 days played, which is a lot. It's a pretty slow leveling, to be honest. I think you can make it in 4.5 playtime. So take it easy, take it slow. Otherwise, there's a much bigger chance that you get in situations where your character is dying and it is deleted. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you got a tip that you can use. I hope you still have fun in hardcore. I think it's also a game where you can always come back, take another shot, pick another class, have fun. That's it for today, guys. See you. Bye bye.